where do I get the most reverse culture shock when I go back to the United States after my time in China? I've already talked about some of the other things that really stand out to me, whether it's the car-centric city or the cost of services, the lack of convenience and integration between those services and payment systems. But those I've mostly come to accept, kind of come to expect them too when I go back to the States. So what I want to talk about today are those things that, no matter how long it's been, still always get me by surprise when I'm back in the States. And the first one is the food, especially restaurants and grocery stores. I feel like in the United States, the quality of the nutrition is so much worse. I've worked in a lot of restaurants in the United States, most of 16 to 24 age range. I worked in a bunch of different restaurants all across the United States, and from what I've heard, it's only gotten worse. But everything in those restaurants is super processed and full of chemicals, additives, antibiotics. Whereas in China, even the street vendors, maybe it's not the cleanest, maybe it's not always the newest ingredients, but there's a lot less additives. So when I go back to the United States, I not only find it hard to eat, but also hard to digest. And that brings me to the one that I really want to talk about today. The biggest reverse culture shock I get when going back to the United States is the toilets. If you've never used a squat toilet, I understand you might be confused, you might not like the hygiene of it, but I won't say too much, it's the best. Not only are the squat toilets so much more efficient, quicker, but even when we're talking about regular toilets, bidets are much more common here than they are in the United States. I've seen them in shopping malls. A lot of people will have them installed at home. And yeah, whether it's a bidet or a squat toilet, I'd much rather do my business in China than with that janky old stuff we got back in America. So definitely one thing I love about being in China. See you next time.